Guys, so today's video is going to be all about my iPad. So if you guys follow me on Instagram or TikTok even, I share a lot of things that I make on my iPad, how I use it. I figured I would kind of compile everything into one video. So I'm going to start out by just talking to you guys about a few pros, a few cons, and then I'll get into a little tour of what it looks like, and then I'll show you guys like my favorite features and show you guys actual things that I've made and I use on my iPad and stuff. I love it, so it's like a little love letter to my iPad, you know. But before I start, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, like this video, and comment below if you guys are interested in hearing anything else about the iPad that I didn't mention in this video or any other video requests. So yeah, let's get into it. This is the iPad that I have. I have to like look in the settings because I don't even know what iPad I have. iPad Pro 3rd generation, 11-inch. I have this case on it that has the pencil on it, so that way I always have it with me. And when you put it in here, let me see if you guys can tell. So when you put it in here, there's like a, probably can't tell, but there's like a flatter side and then the rest of it is round. So the flat side goes toward the iPad and it like snaps in. See how the screen turned on? So that means it's charging the pencil. So the pencil is always charged. The older Apple Pencils, like the ones that we have for the kids, those you still have to charge them through the bottom little port. So the biggest thing about my iPad that I love is just the convenience. So if you follow me, you know that we homeschool and I've used other kinds of planners and stuff. You guys have followed me for even longer than we've been homeschooling. You guys know that, you know, I meal prep and we do a lot of pre-planning for things. I'm just a planner. You know, it was hard for me to kind of let go a little bit of my cute planners and my pens and my highlighters and all my things, right? My stickers, my stencils. I was that girl, okay? I have a ton of planners that I've used throughout the years and I love them, you know? But I felt like every time I got a new planner, I was always looking for something better. So yeah, so convenience 100%. I can take it wherever, whenever. I can download documents onto it, edit stuff on there right in the app that I use, GoodNotes, and I'll get into that in a second. So I like that because when I would be doing like homeschool planning, I would have a planner, I would have a page like for notes, just for you know, things that obviously were not set in stone yet, and I was planning things out. So if you're a planner like me, you kind of know that like you have to have a rough draft first of kind of what's going on, what you're doing, and then you kind of copy it into something a little bit more nicely later, right? So at least that's how I was. So I would have a notebook for just like all of my rough drafts, my notes, all the things that I was writing down, and then I had my actual planner, and then I would have, you know, any book that I was using to reference for, or a workbook or like anything to reference for school, right? So even if I wasn't doing school planning, like I said, I would at least have two things with me, right? My notebook and my planner. So then I would also need my budget book that I would do our budget in. So that was a third book that I would have, you know, when I would be planning stuff, right? I would want to look at the budget, I would want to look at the plan, and I would want to look at the month and my notes. So it was a lot of stuff. So like every time I would be like, all right, yeah, I'm going to plan, I would have all my stuff and I would just have like a stack, you know, I would just have like a stack of books. So now I have my budget book in my iPad. I downloaded it into my iPad. Everything is digital now, so I'm sure you can get downloadable stuff of pretty much any planner. And since it's very popular to plan on your iPad, you can buy templates from Etsy or from websites that offer templates for really affordable price. So it's really cool, really versatile. You can still get kind of creative with it. I also take it with me in the car, like if we're gonna go run some errands. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit because I feel like I'm way too close. You guys are all up in my business. I also take it with me to Mavis's room when I'm putting her to sleep or putting her to take a nap or whatever, because I just sit there with her and just kind of pat her and, you know, whatever. So I'll plan in there. So like before I couldn't really do that, you know, having like 3-4 notebooks, and it was dark, I couldn't see. So yeah, I take it anywhere I can, really. Like, it's only one thing, you know, it's not like 3-4 notebooks. And like I said, downloading things to it, I downloaded all kinds of templates. I downloaded my budget book to it. I downloaded a bunch of different curriculums that we're using. I can go to Pinterest, save things on there, add it to our homeschool notebook, save it for later, print it later. It just keeps everything together, nice and organized, and I can find it. You know, also that would happen when I would have multiple notebooks. I wouldn't remember where I put what and where and all that, you know. So, all right, a couple of cons. Obviously, it's a little pricey, you know, the iPad. It's definitely an investment, but I use my iPad for freaking everything too. Like, as a mom, obviously, we're always like doing shit. So, you know, when I'm making dinner, I'll put on my headphones, I'll put on a show, and, you know, the kids will be playing outside, in and out, and like, you know, I kind of let them know, like, hey, I'm making dinner, you know, watch your sister, kind of let me know if you need anything, but, you know, I'm gonna chill while I make dinner. When I'm doing my makeup, I'll watch shows or YouTube video or something. So it's not, you know, just for the planning. Obviously, all the other things you can do on the iPad. I can search stuff. I have all my apps and stuff. So yeah, you know, kind of gotta maybe get it for Christmas or your birthday or something. So yeah, that's the first thing I would say is probably that it's expensive. Also, you gotta buy the pencil separate, you know, buy a case for it, buy a cover for it. So again, it's a little bit of an investment for sure. And again, for all my like planning girlies out there, if you're a planner, you know that it's just something about having just like a book and a pen and just like your things, you know, hits different doing the iPad, right? It did take me a little bit of time to get used to it for sure. So I didn't, you know, get it and automatically know what to do and how to do it and all that stuff, you know. So it did take me some time to look up some videos, but a lot of it was just figuring it out on my own, like what I liked and all that stuff, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So yeah, that's definitely a con. It just doesn't hit the same as, you know, a new journal or like a new notebook. Don't get me wrong, I still have a ton of notebooks. I still journal and take notes and do things on my other notebooks and stuff. But as far as my day-to-day stuff, iPad. And because you can kind of do whatever on there, you can make as many pages as you want, you can make as many notebooks as you want, you can download everything to it. It can get a little bit overwhelming. So make sure that you're kind of organizing, titling things as you go. But there are accessories, you know, there's a screen protector that when you write on it, it makes like the sound of like when you're writing with a pencil, like, or with a pen, I guess it can make that sound too. But you know, like that kind of more rough surface instead of it gliding so easily because the screen is so just slippery, you know. That's the main thing, at least for me it was at the beginning. I'm like, like it was hard to write and like to be happy with my handwriting because, you know, again, planning girlies, you know, we get it. So like I would be kind of hard on myself, like, that looks so ugly, and like, you know, whatever. So don't need whiteout anymore, don't need a million pens and highlighters and all that. That's all in the iPad. There's also keyboards, like Bluetooth keyboards. I don't have one for mine. Ramses does have one for his, but there are keyboards that they're Bluetooth keyboards you can attach to the iPads if you're more of a typing person, because there's a feature where you can just do text on the good notes and stuff. It's not all like pencil, but yeah, I prefer the pencil, so that's why I haven't gotten a keyboard or anything. And then there are also like grips for the pencil, the Apple Pencil. You can, you know, put grips on there, different tips and stuff. So there's a ton of accessories. The only things that I have, honestly, I just have a regular screen protector. I have 2 cases. I have one like this, and then I have a mustard colored one for the like spring summer time. This is my fall winter case. I'm gonna just give you guys a little basic tour. Obviously I can't do it like this, so I'm going to turn you guys around right now, give you guys a little basic tour of what GoodNotes. Okay, so this is what the GoodNotes app looks like right here. So I'm going to click on it. So here are all my notebooks. I have a business one, a homeschool plans, my astrology notebook, daily plan. This is for the Secret Santa that we're doing right now. So I had a notebook. I keep all of my trackers and templates in here for our family plan. So these are all things that like I plan ahead of time. Financial plans. I have a food one. That one's fun. I'll show you guys later. And then these are just other documents that I've downloaded, like school stuff. This one I have templates and stickers. So these are all blank templates Let me just show you guys. So when you click on a notebook, it's going to take you to the last page that you were on. Right here, you're going to see the 4 little squares, and it shows you every single page. I have stickers, a bunch of templates on here. So you can copy and paste pretty much anything to a different page in any notebook. So let's say you're starting a new notebook, so you just want to click new, you click notebook, and then you have the cover here. You can choose whatever cover you want. You have the paper here, just because you choose a certain paper, and you click create. You can also do it landscape or portrait. Okay, so once you create a notebook, here are the tools. So here's the pen tool. There's different pen styles, 3 different pen styles. I usually use the ball pen. And then over here are the colors. You can always have 3 colors on hand. And then these are the pen thickness that you have. And you can have 3 different pen sizes, or whatever you want to call it. So that size, that one, and that one, depending on what you're doing. And then also the colors here, you can have some preset colors. You can edit these to have like your favorite colors that you have. This is the custom colors. And then the next one is the eraser. So eraser, again, 3 different erasing sizes. You can also just have it set to only erasing highlighter. You can clear the page, the entire page. The next one is the highlighter. Again, 3 different sizes, 3 different colors. Same thing with the presets and the custom. And then here, this one is the shape tool. So if you want to create like a perfect circle or a square, it'll do that for you like that. I don't really use, I feel like this one also does the same thing, but it's not as accurate. You just kind of hold it down, see? So I don't know, I don't really use this shape tool, to be honest. The lasso tool, oh my gosh, it's my freaking favorite. Okay, so let me show you. The lasso tool has so many features, so you can have them clicked on to whatever you want to circle. So you can do handwriting, images, text box, comments, and I don't really use that. So let's say handwriting. So this is all handwriting, right? So I can circle it and move it. So see how even if it touches it a little bit. So if you want to be really accurate with your selection, you want to obviously be a little more careful. And since it's only on handwriting, if I put it on images, this is not an image, so it's not going to move it. So let's say you add, so we'll get to the images part in a second, but when you have a full page of things like with handwriting, with images, with text boxes, you want to be precise when you're moving things around. So that's really nice. Another thing that I like about the lasso tool is you can select, let me put it back to handwriting. So you can select whatever you want, and then you hold it down without moving it, and it gives you all of these options. So you can click resize and you can make it bigger or smaller. I do this all the time when I'm writing notes and stuff and my handwriting's kind of big or it's too small. I will select it, make it bigger or smaller depending on what I want. So that's really nice because you struggle with that, you know, writing things down, making notes, you know, what have you, and then you're running out of room and you're like, but I just wanted one page. You can just select it, resize it, move it. So super awesome. So something that happens to me a lot that I need that for is when we do our food, our like meal plan for the week. So I will write in what we're going to have, right? And sometimes I want to move things around, and instead of having to erase it and write in a different spot, I just select whatever I want. Let's say I want to move these 2 things around. I'll just go like that. And then I'll move that there, see? So, and then I'm like, oh, never mind. You just go back, and it retraces your steps. So that's super nice when I'm, you know, doing things that, again, I haven't taken notes or whatever. I'm like taking notes and making my final draft on the same page, essentially. So this one, don't really use this one that much, but I do have some images that I have downloaded on here. These are preset ones, so you can like add it here, just to add a little. Oh, you guys can't even see that, so hold on, let me add another one. So you guys can, you can go like this, and, you know, put it wherever you want. Just kind of double click, move things around. So that's pretty cool. These are also, you can make them bigger, smaller. And then this one is for images. I don't really have a lot of images on my iPad, to be honest, but let's say, okay, this was a craft we did, but you can literally insert photos in here, like, yeah. And then this is the text box. So let me go back to the other one. So here's the text box. So like hello, you know. You can also just click the little pen down here at the bottom and then make the keyboard come up. So yeah, obviously there's a lot more that you can do. You can change the font, the size, but I just wanted to give you guys like just a basic overview. Also, when I'm, let's say, meal planning, I also have a notebook called Food. So I literally keep every recipe, every week that I've done a like meal plan, like what works for us that week and what we're doing and all that. And I just save them in here. So that way when I'm making another one, I can just refer back to, you know, a few weeks ago and what did we eat and how did, you know, all that. And I do write in when we eat out. Like you can see when we eat out all those days, all those meals. I do have like spaghetti thing. And the reason I write in, even though like I know obviously what goes in spaghetti, a lot of the time when I'm making my meals, so I like to write every single ingredient that I'm going to need. That way when I'm going through my grocery list of things that I need, I'm like, okay, we're gonna have this for dinner and this, and okay, what else goes in there? What other spices go in there? I can't remember, you know, so only so much fits in here, you know what I'm saying? So recipes are one of those things that don't really fit in here that well. So I like to keep them here step by step, especially if it's stuff that I don't make a lot, but I want to make more of. I like to write things out in like step by step so that I can feel less stressed about making it. So yeah, see, as you can tell, I have quite a bit that I've saved in here. These are like recipes I've copied and pasted. Like I said, put images, like I can screenshot something and then I can just go here and then download the image like from here, you know, to kind of have it all in one place. So like food ideas, so yeah, other menus we've done. There we go. So as I was saying, so let's say I'm making my grocery list or something, or I'm looking at a recipe, I can keep my food tab open like this, and then I can go back and forth from this one to this one kind of thing. So here's a page for my astrology notebook. I can highlight and draw lines and change colors and text and, you know, all the fun stuff. So, and then for my daily plan, I have my habit tracker on here, so I check in with that, kind of fill it in. I have our meals for the week right after that. So my daily plan is just anything that I want to make sure that I'm looking at or that I'm going to need. And then I have our November calendar. I also have the December one, already filling it in because December's in a couple of days. Here is our homeschool notebook, so I can show you guys. Hopefully I can hold it without it falling. I don't have it. So we're on week 16, but here's all the weeks before. All the way to week 1. And keep this in mind, I still have a paper calendar hanging up in the kitchen. I still have a magnetic calendar for the current month and the month to come all the time. And then I also have, you know, like I said, a couple of notebooks here and there that I jot things down in. But this is my ride or die, and it just works. Okay, I don't know how it works. I used to think like, oh, maybe it's just too excessive. It's like, it's working. I'm thriving, to be honest. Like, I feel the least stressed about pretty much anything. Now I feel like I'm just stressed about myself and like what I want. I haven't had to stress about that in a while. You know, it was more about how do I get shit together here, you know, in our family of 5. So yeah, now I feel very content and just kind of happy with the progress I've made and how I can kind of keep things organized. I'm not spending a ton of time making templates and writing lists and losing lists and finding whiting things out and highlighting and all this stuff. Like, I have it all in one place, and it's just really comforting to know that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys have any other questions, leave them down below or just say hey in the comments. It really helps my channel, and share my channel as well with anyone that you feel might enjoy it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!